Incrementalism. People tend to believe that they have good moral character and are therefore confident that they will make good choices when they face moral issues. But Cynthia Cooper, who was the whistleblower in a gigantic financial fraud, wrote, "People don't wake up one day and say, 'Today is the day I think I'll start my life of crime.' Instead, it's often a slippery slope. We slowly lose our ethical footing one step at a time. This psychological influence is what behavioral ethicists call incrementalism."
Small little changes here and there we don't necessarily notice. We'll notice like a big thing that changes in our life, but like skipping class like one day, and then it kind of becomes a habit, like, oh, I didn't go last week, so I won't go this week. And then like every single week it just kind of compounds on itself.
If, a friend is struggling and they ask a friend, hey, just this one time, could you maybe, help me on this homework problem or show me what your answer was for this problem? They might share that, and next thing you know, they're working together on something that, definitely has larger consequences than just, hey, here's the answer to this homework problem.
Research shows that most multi-million-dollar financial frauds started with people fudging fairly small numbers. Over time, those numbers grew larger. As an executive in the Enron scandal said, "You did it once, it smelled bad. You did it again, it didn't smell bad." This is how incrementalism works.
Like once you start doing something, we're creatures of habit, so we'll keep doing more and more of that.
The more I push my bedtime incrementally, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, every single day of the week, really affected my training. I was just in a horrible mood. So that's when I kind of realized, hey, like this has kind of gotten out of control and it's gotten too far, and I really need to take a step back and reevaluate what I'm doing.
Incrementalism also happens in the world of sports. In 2006, USC running back Reggie Bush lost the national championship game, but he won the Heisman Trophy that year. Later, the NCAA learned that Bush had been taking bribes from a sports agent while still in college. The bribery probably started small. Maybe when he accepted a limo ride from the sports agent to the Heisman Trophy ceremony the year before. But things tend to escalate. When you've taken one thing, taking something a little more valuable the next time doesn't seem so bad. Ultimately, Bush and his family accepted $300,000 or more in cash and gifts. Bush had to forfeit the Heisman Trophy, and USC was severely punished by the NCAA.
I feel like for me, like on the track team especially, it's very easy to kind of cheat yourself with like practices, hitting a specific time. Let's say like the time you're supposed to hit is like 26, and maybe you hit it in 27, but the coach doesn't say anything. Then the next time you hit it in 28, he still doesn't say anything. And you kind of like, okay, that means I don't really have to hit the time and I can just hit whatever time I want.
If I'm doing a lot of extra working out and I kind of stop, I kind of back off a little bit. That kind of gives me the free rein to do it more and more and more. No one just stops practicing. They would stop kind of over time.
Clayton Christensen became a famous professor at Harvard Business School. When he was in college, Christensen helped his British University's basketball team reach the national championship contest. The game was scheduled for a Sunday, and Christensen refused to play. To play a game on Sunday would violate his Mormon faith. When the coach urged Christensen to make an exception just this one time, he refused. Christensen knew that if he did something he felt to be wrong one time, it would be easier to make an excuse the next time temptation appeared.
If you hold something so dearly to you and it's against your morals, then I feel like you should stay true to that, because it's very easy to just say, oh, I did it one time, and then someone's gonna say, well, you did it last time, can you do it for me this time? It's very easy to just be like, yeah, I did, so let me just be nice and do that.
I think you sort of have to think about the long-term consequences and think, hey, if I say yes this one time, where could this lead? And sort of use that as a rationale.
So, the way we can stop from sliding down the slippery slope, as challenging as that may be, is to do the right thing every time. As Professor Christensen knew, given the influence of incrementalism, it's easier to do the right thing 100% of the time than it is to do it 98% of the time.
It's easy to fall down that slippery slope and not even notice it, or not even notice how it changes you.
You make one little change and the next day it's like, oh, like I'm doing that same thing again on repeat without even realizing it.
Everything is kind of subconscious and you don't really know that you're doing it. but like maybe checking with other people or even checking in with yourself like on a daily basis, weekly basis, to kind of just realize what you're doing is probably the best way to do it.
I feel like also it can be in the opposite direction, where if you can start doing a little bit more ethical things, start acting well even when you don't want to, and then over time you start desiring to do that a lot more.